Do I need to call you the female version of Steph Curry, or do I need to call Steph Curry the male version of Caitlin Clark?
Somebody break down the release time, which is pretty much identical to mine.
In an exciting overtime victory over Triumph, not a dream, Caitlin Clark turned in another outstanding effort, scoring 26 points and handing out 12 assists. With her continued dominance, Clark is not just aiming for Rookie of the Year, she is also aiming for the Mevy crown, which she might surpass by defeating Ja Wilson, whose latest injury may spell the end of her season and her MEP run. Everything is in place for Clark to outperform his rivals. Caitlin Clark is leading the WNBA in assists by a wide margin. She is the best player in the league by a quarter. It's quite impressive for a novice. It surprised me to learn that Caitlin Clark is already a once-in-a-generation talent. That was unexpected at Iowa, I must say. Yes, she is the greatest scorer in college basketball history, I thought to myself. Ladies or men's, but with this kind of passing. I am speaking of skillful bounce passes akin to LeBron. I'm referring to exceptionally brilliant two-handed, full-court, touchdown pass passing akin to that of LeBron James, something I don't see in the WNBA. No one else in the league is having the same impact on her team as she is. This group had a 13-27 record the previous season. Abruptly, the Indiana Fever emerged as the league's hottest club by a wide margin. I'm unable to shake this fever I have. I'm hooked on watching. The effect Caitlin Clark is having on game after game is something I talk about nonstop. With her passes and well-considered scoring locations, she masterfully takes charge of the game and dominates it game after game. She still frustrates me because she defers to her vets and won't shoot enough in fourth quarters. She is under extreme pressure not to appear like a diva or to attempt to be more than she is capable of being as a rookie. Thank you for that. But you really aren't a rookie anymore, Caitlin. Simply shoot it during the last quarter. You've shown yourself to be that excellent. There is no one in the league who can flip logo threes as easily as Caitlin. Her three-point shooting has become even more proficient. I apologize. Rookie of the Year was over 2 or 3 weeks ago at this point. I'm not making this up. Caitlin Clark has suddenly begun to challenge A'ja Wilson for this league's MVP award. Since no one can control a game like Caitlin can, she is beginning to promote A'ja as the best player in the league. Brittany, I do appreciate your candor and believe that much of what you said is true. It's a really good point. You really need to give her serious consideration for MVP right now. If she keeps playing in this way, if the remainder of her season plays out like this, and if we're talking about games that cover half of the season. A pair of triple-doubles? It was astounding to me that no rookie in this league had ever recorded a triple-double. I thought genuinely, I'm not kidding, nobody knew had done it. She performs the action once and then again. And just in case you guys haven't noticed, which I have, and I obviously produce a lot of films on it, every game she plays in sets a new record, breaks an existing record, or she simply sets a new one. It's astounding that she is essentially personally accountable for 37.6 points per game, either through assists or scoring. It is, in fact, never mind what she's done for attendance and viewership, which we just discussed. I think we need to start looking closely. You wish to discuss the league's most valuable player, you're done there. All of it, by which I mean the areas surrounding on and off the court. She ought to be the logo, really. I'm going to leave now. Peace. Until the next occasion. Clark isn't your average rookie. She has been an absolute revelation, setting records and guiding Indiana's offense like an experienced player to show off her true worth. Consider the turnaround in Indiana. They were a miserable 13-27 last year. They now have a record of 191, 2.5 games behind the Seattle Storm for the No. 5 playoff slot. Clark is at the center of this remarkable metamorphosis, which is nothing short of amazing. Her stats speak for themselves. She leads the league in assists, shoots 37% from beyond the arc, and often drives the ball inside, finishing 63.6% of the time with a 5-foot basket. Skip Bayless would probably draw attention to the fact that Clark is unquestionably creating chances for everyone in her immediate vicinity in addition to herself. Indiana's offense becomes the best in the league when she's on the court. But what distinguishes her from A'ja Wilson in reality? Let's take into account that Clark scores more of his points without help than any other player in the league. More than any other player in BHA, she's creating more offense for herself and her teammates while also scoring more points per game on average. This season's drama seems to revolve around Caitlin Clark. Let's now turn our attention to A'ja Wilson. Wilson has been seen as the obvious front-runner from Veep for the majority of the season. With an average of 27.3 points, 11.98 rebounds, and 2.4 assists, she has been outstanding. Wilson hasn't missed a game since August 2019, making her the league's Iron Woman up until now. She has been sidelined by an ankle injury sustained against the New York Liberty. Her coach, Becky Hammon, has expressed cautious optimism and described the injury as preventative. We cannot overlook the possible consequences. Wilson's injury occurs just in time. Despite having depth, the Las Vegas Aces are deep in the postseason hunt, and even a few games without their star player might tip the scales. How much time will she miss, and will this injury prevent her from competing in the Veep race? While injuries are regrettable, Skip Bayless would likely add that they should not be disregarded while discussing Veep. It matters to be available. The Fever's ascent is important to remember since it is closely related to Clark's influence. This season, Indiana was 1-8 at one time. Many question Clark's ability to transition to the professional game, particularly in light of the league's promotion of her and Indiana's early schedule of games against elite teams. The detractors had a field day, but Clark responded with unwavering vigor and resolve. Today, having won 14 of their previous 20 games, the Fever are riding high on a wave of momentum. But it's not all about the stats. There is no denying Clark's leadership. She demonstrated that she is more than simply flashy on Wednesday when she recorded a 24-point, 10-rebound, 10-assist triple-double against the Los Angeles Sparks. She is determined, goal-oriented, and most importantly, skilled at winning. Clark has been playing better and better as the postseason draws closer. She's been playing some of her greatest basketball of her career after taking a month off for the Paris Games, which caused the WNBA to take a vacation. That's the exact reason Indiana is becoming a squad to keep an eye on. Clark not only possesses talent, but she also steps up to the plate when things become really tough. But A'ja Wilson's contributions this season cannot be discounted. The Las Vegas Aces, who are vying for a second WNBA title, have Wilson as their core. Wilson is surrounded by other stars, but she still rules supremely. She has been the team leader in both scoring and rebounds, and in the past 2 games, she has scored 40 or more points twice. She has an unparalleled effect on both ends of the floor. Even with Wilson sitting on the bench, there is still something to think about. The Aces' net rating has remained stable. That says a lot about how strong the roster is. Wilson is undoubtedly amazing, but her vet piece might be a little overshadowed by her team's ability to function without her. In Indiana, on the other hand, Clark's presence is indispensable. Because of her ability to set plays and score in crucial situations, the Fever's offense flourishes. When you talk about worth, you can't dismiss the team surrounding the individual, as Skip Bayless might argue. Wilson enjoys greater backing than Clark, clearly. The Fever's next games against the Aces on September 11th and 13 are suddenly must-see events. They will probably determine the MEF race in addition to pitting 2 of the league's top players against one another. This is Clark's opportunity to demonstrate unequivocally that she is a legitimate member of the MEF discourse. Wilson's ability to recover from an injury and maintain her dominant form will also be put to the test. Here, in the words of Skip Bayless, are the things that become legends. In what seems to be one of the most thrilling matchups of the season, these 2 celebrities will square off. Ultimately, with every game, Caitlin Clark's argument for me gets stronger. Her record numbers, leadership both on and off the court, and capacity to turn the Fever into a postseason contender are indisputable. Additionally, Clark may have a chance to win her first In-Boss MEP award given Ja Wilson's injury layoff. Skip Bayless would probably decide that Clark deserves more time. Night after night, she continues to demonstrate that she has earned it. I have to concur as well. Though the MEF argument hasn't ended yet, Caitlin Clark has a good chance of winning the prize if she keeps going in this direction. Watch closely, as the drama is far from over.